Welcome back, everybody, to Spirit Plays more Spiral Knights. Before we begin, if you could please click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. It does help out the main game. Well, actually, it doesn't really help out the main game. It helps me out. It's the best way you can support the video, support the content, the game that will hopefully never die. Maybe by the year 2091, and we all just don't care anymore. Anyway, we got the cats are back. We got a full slew of like undead mantra right here. So I'm gonna go with Bad Luck and Brimstone. We're gonna do some switch shooting again. Probably, if I have some time, I'll do some Scared to Death, but we're already in here. I'm not gonna have to create a public party. I see this is fire, so just to give you some insight, because the next couple days I'm gonna go with like we're good enough. We shouldn't need extra heart trinkets kind of mentality unless we go to a shadow layer or maybe the Almerian Danger Prestige. I don't know. We'll go with free, so hopefully stationary some of our enemies. So it's medium plus medium. I know we're +1 over with the high, but I mean we can use some dodging, right? We only need to take one bullet. We should be to the point where we no longer care about having to block because we're just that good with our footwork. Anyway, I got the Brother Mike has his the MSI increase. If I was a thinking man, I'd think about getting some MSI increase on other armors that I have, but I just haven't thought that far ahead yet. Quicksilver, right? That does it. I'm kind of scared there might be fiends in here, but at the same time, I got guns. Okay, wait a second. Whoa. One thing we did forget to do. Let me get this guy out of the way. Sorry. Noob tip 101, Task Manager. I don't know if it's a noob tip, but it certainly helps out. It helps out even veteran players. Set priority high. Let's go. Get all that other crap out of the screen. Close all your other windows. I mean, this is a different time than I usually do anything. It's what time is it? It's 3:03 p.m. Usually I'm doing it at like 3:03 a.m. But I decided to do it at 3:03 p.m. because I got off work early. So why not just bang out a few videos, dude? And I didn't even notice it was cat hunting season. I do not think I will ever find another cat head. The one I have was actually gifted to me. So if I mean, if it happens, it happens. Great. I might sell it for something. I don't know. Roll a UV on it. We got to, no. We're not gonna roll a UV on it because I do that a lot. And every time it's ended up an absolute failure. For the past couple of times, I keep rolling on my Griffin now because I've basically given up on the Nitronome. The Griffin and the Nitronome. Nitronome, you need CTR very high. It's just a necessity because we want our Striker Bomber dream to come true. That's another spark. The game is telling us we have to live. You know, the other one is my Griffin because I just want it to be. I want it to be a little quicker, literally for dreams and nightmares. Like it'll take 10 seconds off my time if I can just like rat-tat-tat-tat a little bit faster. Really, first off, I'm surprised we didn't find a group. At the same time, I know people farm the crap out of this stuff, so maybe the farming has reached critical mass, and people just don't farm anymore. I don't know. Maybe people are invested in their own solo farm. My daughter has an ant farm. The ants came today. I'm leaving them in the mailbox because I want her, like when she comes home, I want her to see, oh, my ants came home today. I just think, I don't even want to set it up. I do. My dad instinct tells me I should take care of all my girls and make sure everything just happens better with dad in control. But I want her to experience this. I want her to fling the sand everywhere, if at all possible. She might say, Daddy, I need help. And then I'll be like, all right, I got this. I'm not going to say, no, your ants will die because of you. We're going to step in and help. You can't have a girl's first ant farm. Go to Schmitzel, wherever you say it in English, German, I don't know. I found out something interesting about the ant farms when you ordered for them. But we got it at a consignment shop, by the way, which is kind of neat. But turns out they don't come with a queen. I really thought they would, but no, they're just worker ants and they'll work by themselves. We actually technically got hit there. We can out damage this thing's healing, but we're still gonna shoot it. It's a butterfly. Can you imagine if like the John Wickian skill you have to have? If you could shoot a butterfly with a gun, I mean that's pretty good. Which is actually it's just insanely lucky. It's not even. I wouldn't even say it's that good. It is good, but you at least have to know the general direction where the butterfly is. I don't know, man. Get a mic. Do something. Perfect shot. I'll kill you mic quick. Anyway. Nothing gets somebody quite as excited as the consistent pounding of a spacebar. The other thing I started to do today is I started the intermittent fasting thing again. So fasting has a unique place in history, I would say, as being like the Muslim faith. You have to fast. There's like the 5 pillars. That's one of the pillars. You need to fast as a Muslim. You need to give to the poor. But in Christianity, fasting is seen like since in the Judeo-Christian, so in Judaism, fasting is like it's part of who you are. It's also a cultural thing. The Passover, and like there's a whole bunch of stuff that like you do this stuff because that's what Jews do. In Christianity, when you look at, we almost got hit there. And you look at the fasting in the Judeo-Christian worldview, specifically the Christian part of it. It's basically like whenever you want God's attention. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm going through hugely traumatic things in my life, but it's definitely there's some life change going on in my area. Some vocational shifts, right? So it's good to get God's attention. And I was talking to a guy. We went to a wedding on Saturday, and I talked to this guy. And he's turns out we have a lot of the same interests. I am a short, 5'6", 190-pound white guy. He is 6 foot plus tall, black gentleman, quite hefty. Like he's a little overweight, but not much. Dude, we started because I haven't had alcohol in like a year. But we started drinking a little bit, and I'm like, I like talking to people as is, but then you just throw that into the mix, and I mean, first off, let's try this again. Big money. Yes, so good. Now I kind of want to equip it, but at the same time, do we really have to? And we need radiance anyway, so I mean, let's just have fun with it. This is me having fun. My alchemers back in 2012 when I was just so enamored with them. That's fun. To me, that's fun. Probably should just kill these guys as they wake. It's the great awakening. Behold. But anyway, we started talking about stuff, and turns out the guy he said, I'm into fasting. Like we talked about a lot of things. He's like, I'm into fasting, and I'm into the apple cider vinegar diet, and I used to run track. Yeah, I have like 10 years. Actually, I think I have like 13 years on the guy. And so he's telling me all these things like, wow, dude, I do the fasting thing too. And I'm like, why haven't I done this in a while? Just out of so it's dietarily good for you as well, not just because it's the spiritual side of it. Turns out everything is in tandem. I'm reading Thomas Aquinas, and he's going over oh my gosh, he goes over so much stuff. The possibility of the consciousness, body, and spirit, and soul, and how they're all woven together. That is, the man is actually experiencing things through the soul. Like he dissects the thought process to the point where I gotta reread pages, man. Sometimes it just gets absolutely out of control. I almost got stunned. Mike, you want to take care of that? Thank you. He didn't really take care of a lot, but he did get it. All right. Appreciate everything you do, Mike. I'm glad you're here. You give me a sense of peace when you could. That was probably the best shot you've done. You hit it point blank. I told you to shoot the gravestone, and you did exactly what I told you to do. Who's really at fault, me or the inanimate object? Or I guess the animated object animated due to my choice. But it was neat finding a guy who's tried fasting like I did. I just thought that was a really cool thing. Sometimes you meet common interests at the other side of the spectrum. We talked about everything, cultural issues going on, because everybody wants to know everybody's opinion. And I'm sure this changes when you go from like place to place. Because we got this there's a 53-year-old guy named Nassim. He's a Muslim from New York, and he started working with us. And he, I thought there's a couple other Muslims in there, so I talked to him like, "What do you think about him?" Because we had a great conversation. It was like an hour-long conversation about a lot of things. And I had to go back to my roots in philosophy because this guy just he outgunned me. You know, when I say that, like, when it comes to politics and arguing facts, whoever reads one more book basically wins. I'm not kidding. Like, this guy is well read on the severe oppression of the African American. Like, he took me to town, and I wasn't trying to argue anything. This guy was actually getting so animated. It kind of reminded me of the feeling that Malcolm X was trying to portray when he wrote the well, that was bad. That was bad. Shame on us. When he wrote his autobiography, when he was trying to make his point across, like, the gentleman was getting so angry, he was starting to shake about the injustices that are in the world, specifically to the African American, and tears were coming to his eyes, and I'm like, wow. But it wasn't like tears like sorrow; it was tears of rage, like the injustice. One thing about the Muslim faith, because I had to stop him at the end of it, because I had to go, like, I was an hour late for going to this wedding. I biked to work, and then I saw a scene. I'm like, and what started this was like, what are you doing for Father's Day? I asked him. He's like, oh, I don't celebrate that. I'm a Muslim. We only celebrate 2 holidays. I'm like, oh, okay. I know. That's when we started talking about the 5 places. He's like, wow, I've never met anybody around this area who really cares or studied Islam. I'm like, I know, Bob, I had to go through everything if I'm looking for truth, man. I love I thrive on these kind of conversations. So, I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, when I got to the end of it, I had to cut him off, and I had to fight to cut him off. Like, even then, I was trying to be polite and just let him go, and so maybe he would hear himself, but he didn't. He was just on a freaking roll, dude. So I had to stop him, and he tried to cut me off a couple times. I'm like, I let you go for like 20 minutes, man. Let me go for a minute. I'm like, here, I'm gonna give you some feedback on what I hear. I'm like, all I hear when I hear you talk, I hear resentment, bitterness, and anger. And this is my main issue when I looked for books, because I read The God Delusion. Because I was quoting Nietzsche to him back and forth. He thought Nietzsche was a Christian, so a lot of his education though it is thorough, it is still fairly one-sided. So I was trying to give him a different perspective. Like, when I read the Bible, it tells me to love my enemy. It tells me to turn the other cheek. It tells me to forgive constant forgiveness. This is what it says, right? Because anybody can abuse any type of system. And I said, when I read the Quran, there is no forgiveness. There is resentment. It is okay for you to do injustice to somebody because they did injustice to you. Like, the cycle of hate never ends. So that is my main thing. And then this dude started quoting the Quran to me. He's like, yeah, well, I guess you're right. It does say it is better to forgive, but it doesn't really say you have to. I'm like, yeah, that's my point, man. Like, unless you let it go and give it to God. And that was my main issue of why I'm not a Muslim. Between that and it's a works faith. Every faith except for Christianity is a works faith. Like, you are in Islam, you're at the end of it, your good deeds will have to outweigh your bad deeds. In the Christian faith, you can't do anything. It's what God has done for you. He has done this for you. You can't kick your way down through the doors of heaven. No one can do that. So I left him with that stuff. And then I was talking to him, another Muslim who's like, yeah, man, that guy's radical, but he's very smart. Like, I know, I appreciate it. I even talked to him again today. So that was a preface to talking to the guy who agreed with a lot of my worldview and actually asked me a lot of questions, like, how do you make sense of all this stuff? Like, and maybe it's just the area I'm in. I'm pretty sure it is, because the modern mainstream media basically says if you're white, you're racist, and you should check your white privilege at the door. My wife actually quoted this to me, and that's okay. I thought there was another one over here. That's okay that she did, because the thing is about, like, being well read in your argument. Sometimes if someone opens up a can saying "I got you now" with their one little response, this is what I mean about you read one more book and then you kind of dominate your enemy. What if that enemy is your wife? You got to be a little bit more tactful. I have all sorts of answers ready for why it is logically, statistically, truthfully a bad idea to riot in the way that riots have been, or to be even triggered off that event. But that's the issue, right? Morality is politicized, so it doesn't even really matter. It does, but it doesn't. Because one side of the political aisle wants to fuel that flame. The other side wants to shut it down. Because they want the economy to be okay. They just want the world to be okay. Not even the economy. Like, jeez. Man. But anyway, it's all I'm saying is, with that sense of forgiveness, like one thing that allowed us to have that conversation that Asin and I did was the Judeo-Christian worldview, saying that you have dignity to believe what you wish to believe. You have the choice. Now, you will not be ever separated from the outworkings of your choice, but you have the choice to believe whatever you want to believe. That's not in the Muslim faith. That's not in the oh my gosh, I got hit. Dude, the stairs are so weird. Let's get this. Get this. Get out of here. All right, I blame the stairs. I didn't even see where we got hit. We got to stop fighting on the stairs. It makes my brain warp. It's like wearing like 4 pairs of glasses. This is a 2-dimensional game, but you're trying to draw a 3-dimensional. Don't confuse the crap out of me. Because God's, at least in the Bible, the Christian Bible, and what Jesus said is people are made in the image of God. We are given inherent dignity. We're given dignity of choice. We can choose not to believe. We can choose to believe. We can choose to find the best evidence. Again, the one question that Damien posited to me, what if you're wrong? Like, that's a question no one's ever been able to answer. I'm like, well, that's kind of a silly question. I don't know if that's a silly question or not, but how do you find out what's true? You use the best evidence. And when you start arguing definitions as opposed to the actual evidence, that's when you know you just don't want to hear the evidence. You know, like I think one of the things Asin said was, like, technically, if you're anti-Semitic, you're not even mad at the right Jews, because the Ashkenazi, I think they're Ashkenazi Jews, they're all European descent. Well, I'm like, well, how do you become a Jew? They're like, you just believe and you do the stuff. I'm like, well, there. So, but this is arguing semantics. So they're not Semites per se. Oop. But if you read how, well, oh my goodness, that was 2 times we were hit. We are not worthy to be here right now. Behold the cats. Like, even if that is true, and I'm not actually, dude, I'm not arguing with you. That's probably true. This is outside of my field of knowledge base. I haven't studied Judaism or the history of, like, ever in my life. Sorry, I have. Sorry, I didn't. I'm knowing the difference between the Orthodox and unorthodox. Sometimes backpedaling is your best option. Get out of here. Disappear. Bite my ghost. There. That's about as offensive as you can be in this game. Alright. But anyway. So yeah, the autonomous nation, man. So there's my political religious hype for the day. For the moment. It's the second guy who's been in my ear. Don't make me use the light bulb, kitty cat. I'll do it. And that was Saturday. And then Sunday we went to, for actual Father's Day, we went to my friend Preston's. He's actually, I forget if I said it before, but I've known him since I was 12. He married my wife's sister, so we are literally brothers now. We could have called each other that before, but now we definitely legally can, which is really cool to me. I forget. So you have the, I wanted to see if the little regen heads popped up, but I guess not. Easy. Just a little off the latency shots there. Just can't get away from latency, man, even in the Clockworks. I did start to stream. By the way, at the time I used to, oh my gosh, that hurts so good. Come on, baby. Let it hurt so good. I used to stream every morning from like 3 a.m. to, I don't even remember when. Like 3 to 5. And it turns out my work schedule actually kind of lets me do this again. Mike, you want to take care of that? Thank you. So I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to do it again, but it's not gonna be Spiral Nights. Spiral Nights I'm actually gonna do this Friday. I'm gonna try a Friday night Spiral Night stream. We will see. We'll see how things go. Can't even get a shot in there, man. Just gotta keep going. Okay. At least we can permadeath you. Get a great life. The life of a turret. Beautiful. Right now I'm playing Vagante in the mornings. That's my morning show, and then I'll just upload it right to YouTube, because why not? Really want to take these shirts out first. Alright, we just don't want to die, though. I mean, I think that goes without saying. Death is not something we wish. We're bound to... Reading Thomas Aquinas, like, we're so bound to our soul that we, like, it's scary. It's something we're not familiar with. Oop. We would have got hit by you. I just kind of know it. I'm seeing... I got premonitions. Oh, no! It actually survived. They look so intimidating, man. The small, little glowing purple ones. You wouldn't think they would actually deal that little damage when biting your Swift Strike shield. Like, I thought it was done for. That's a lot of dudes. Whoop. Just gotta get in there and get the kitty. That's all we need. There we go. Kitty's more fragile than we think he is. Dropped a little hard for us. That's so adorable. We're just missing our switch shooting. Come on, man. Please. Da 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 da. I'm gonna bury you in the ground. Okay. That was a lot of fun. And we just got on fire for good measure. Keep saying it. I don't know when my normal SK time is. I like doing it in the mornings. I like doing it here and there and everywhere. Anyway, hope we do. That's why we didn't get any radiance, but I mean, that's all right. We got we get some of the they're not whiskers. What are they? We'll find out here in a second. Reward for prestigious. I see you, you beautiful little spark. You're so adorable. I will. There we go. 4 ancient pages. I think we actually have enough to do something with those. 77. I have no idea. How many crowns do we have? 24. Oh, we're gonna roll, boys. We already got lucky with the Acheron. Let's see how much more lucky we can get. Punch. I have money for your children. Please. Please. Let's do this. Something besides some ASI. Please, please. Well, I guess it is on the more rare end. Dude, I am so sorry. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this one. I'm not trading crowns for whatever the crap. Once again, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Helps me out a lot. I'll see you next time. Take care.